welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about weaning. So Unati is almost 6 months and is about to start eating solids. So when I say weaning, I don't mean like winning or losing. I mean like weaning. Initially, I thought weaning is basically when you stop breastfeeding and the child starts eating solids. But I've soon learned that weaning is basically means that introducing solids, and the baby still continues to breastfeed and have formula if they were having formula. They just now start being introduced to solids. So one thing I've learned also is that when we start this process of weaning, the baby doesn't have to eat a lot. So you can literally give them 3 teaspoons and it's fine, it's totally fine. The whole idea is to introduce them to solid food and not necessarily to have them be filled by solid foods. So breast milk or formula still remains the main source of their meals. So from my own understanding, in the past you could start solids as early as 4 months old, but now it's highly recommended that solids are introduced at around 6 months. The reason being that the baby's stamina or internal parts are now said to be stronger and better able to cope with digesting and different foods from 6 months. So 6 months is now the new ideal. But there are things that you can do to check if your child is ready for solids. And if your child is ready for solids, or if your child is not being filled by breast milk or formula, you can still introduce solids from as early as 4 months old. But you need to consult with your health practitioner or health visitor before doing so. So I basically just called my health practitioner and I mentioned that Unati is 5 months, almost 6 months. I think it's 2 weeks before he turns 6 months. And I just mentioned that I want to start introducing solids to him. Is it fine with him? So they just want to check whether your motive is fine and whether the child is actually ready for the solids. So I'm very excited to be introducing this. Unati has been showing so many signs of being ready. He now reaches out for food. When you eat it, he tries to grab the food. If you give him something, like sometimes I give him a banana and he starts eating it. And then I'm so scared of choking, so sometimes I take it out before he swallows it or bites it, and then he will scream. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on this. I've read a lot of stuff, and I've tried to be as best prepared for this next stage as possible. But just a summary of some things that I learned when I was doing my research is that there are 2 types of weaning methods. The one is the traditional method, which is basically introducing pureed foods. So you mash them and you make them as close to liquid as possible. And the second method is called baby-led weaning. So that is basically giving the child the actual food, having them feel the texture, having them touch it, having them feed themselves and explore the food holistically, having them eat what you are eating and not a baby version of whatever you are eating or whatever foods you might be giving them. So baby-led weaning, it has its advantages, one of which I think is independence, since the baby feeds themselves. But one of the biggest risks with baby-led weaning is that a child can easily choke. So it's highly recommended that you do a first aid training before you do this method, so that you know the difference between gagging, because gagging is almost feels like a choke, but they make a sound. They reflex, if they're swallowing a big chunk, the reflex are so strong that they'll be like or choke it out. So gagging is when they make a sound to try get the food out or out into their mouth and in again the proper way. But choking is usually silent. It's when it just sits, the food sits and it blocks them, and you need to know what to do. You need to know how to help them get the food out in those cases, and that's why the first aid training is recommended for that method. So when I told OJK about these 2 methods, he was basically like, I don't want my child choking, so we are not doing baby-led weaning. But I'm still trying to sell the idea to him. I want to do a combination of both. So I will do the purees and the traditional method one, but I also want him to have a feel of some certain foods. I want him to touch and feed himself, and maybe foods that have less of a choking hazard. I'm even considering getting maybe an air fryer so that I can air fry some veggies so that they can melt in his mouth, and I know exactly what I'm giving him and I know what is in there. So those are the two methods. We will try do a combination of both. Unati is showing signs of being ready. He is interested in food, and one of the tests that I also saw when I was reading along is that you must check whether when you put something in their mouth, whether they want to suck it, like because they suck milk from bottles and so on, whether they want to suck it or they actually open their mouth and want to chew it. So chewing, opening mouth, putting it in and chewing is shows readiness versus when they're just trying to suck it in. So I tried that one. I took a teaspoon and I put some milk and I gave him, and he was opening to take it in and to try chew it up. So to me, that was one of the most important signs and tests to see if he is actually ready for food. Shopping. I've gone on a shopping spree because I'm so excited about this journey, and I didn't really know what to get and what not to get. I've just been reading and saying, okay, that's a good idea, add to the list, add to the list, add to the list. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get into travel because of my shopping spree, but usually if it's for Unati, we get away with it. So I'll just show you a few things that I've bought to start off the journey. So obviously it's good to have a chair. I don't have my chair with me here, but you'll see it when I do the videos where I'm actually feeding him. So got a chair where he can sit on. So I've got a small chair, a red chair, which also comes with a tray which he can sit on. And I think with those chairs you can also put them on a normal chair, so that the child can have a dinner family eating experience where they are sitting on top of a bigger chair and their own chair, and they can eat with the family on a table. But there's also the standalone chairs where they can sit on their own there. And in the first few stages, they say expect the baby to throw a lot of food around, especially if you're going to do baby-led weaning. It will be a messy job. And so first of all, I started off with beads. I got different types of beads. I've got this one. So these ones, they've got like a catcher thing here, which catches food, and then you can either feed them again or you can throw it away. But it's got a catching thing with that, which I think is cool. I don't know how well it will work. And then I've got these ones, which look like a top. It's open at the back. It's got like that. And it's got like a waterproof in outside. It's white. Outside, this side it's cotton, so you need to wash it. So it's something that he gets to wear, and then so that he doesn't mess on himself. And then I've got this one. So it's similar, except the outside part is plasticky. So then you can wipe it through, and I don't have to wash this every time he messes up on it. And this one is also similar to the previous one. It's got a plastic cover, but it's more long sleeved, whereas the other one was the short sleeved one. So these are the BBs that I've gotten. I didn't want to get a lot because I wanted to just try them out and see which one I like the best, and then get more of whichever one I wanted. So that was the first thing that I got. And then they also say that sometimes it can spill to the floor, so you want to protect the floor or wherever you will be sitting. So I got this. It's a mat. It's like rubbery, this side, and this side you can wipe. So you can put it down and put the chair on top, so that if food falls, you can always just take this and clean this and you don't have to keep messing the house and having to clean the house. So that I like the idea of this, and I also like it for just putting on the floor when I'm in the kitchen or cooking. Just getting him to feel the floor and to be on his tummy while I'm cooking, while he's watching me. And then next up, we've got the actual plates. So I bought these, the Munchkin sets. I like these bowls because they're suction plates, so they get stuck on the surface. He can't, like, because Unati can be very rough. He can't push it and it falls and spills the whole food and all that. So I'm trying to avoid disaster, and I've got these that just stick and he can't move them. If I put it down, it's down. He can't move it. So I like that idea. But they do say that plastic is not always the safest to use. But the main thing to watch out for if you're going to be using plastic is it must be BPA free. So most of these plastic ones that I have are BPA free. But I also bought a bamboo. Oh, it's stuck. Set. Okay. All right. So you tilt it to lift it. So it also has that suction thing that holds. And here it's more for baby-led weaning, when you put the different foods and allow them to touch and to eat and to explore on their own, with silicone spoon, nice and soft, that they can use, and it's all wood, it's all bamboo, and also the cereal bowl for it with the same spoon. So this came as a set, and that's the other things that I got. Then I got storage things, so when I make food, I'm going to put into containers and freeze if I make in bulk. I also bought like a tray that looks like ice cubes, but it's still on its way. It's not yet arrived. So these will be my storage container things. Don't know how well they will work. And for teething, also when it gets hot, they say cold icy things are good for them. So I've got this. It's like an ice cream maker. So I want to make like fruit juices and then pour in here and put this in, and then it will come out. I don't have a picture of it, but it will come out as an ice lolly, which he can chew on because he's teething. I also have other stuff that I'll show you guys later that I haven't taken out today. And then I got a small blender. I know some people say you can just use your own home blender, or you can mash the stuff, like you don't need anything fancy. But I just want my life to be as easy and simple as possible. So I just thought to buy this. So it's both a steamer, you can put the veggies raw and it will steam them, and then it will also blend them. So you put water and then you can steam, you can blend, you can defrost food. So this I'll use. This makes about 400 mils of food, which is quite a lot. So I should be able to make and store enough for a week or so from this thing. So this is what I bought, which you saw me the opening at the start of the video. It came with these, which are also some storage. I think this will be cool for when we are traveling. We just put the food in here, and it's like a paper thing. I don't see anything that says BPA free, so I must just investigate whether these are actually safe for baby before using them. They probably are. And then I got a menu planner. So I wanted to just write down to know at the start of each week, like, what am I feeding baby? Let me bring it closer. Okay. Yes, a menu planner. So it's got days Monday to Sunday, and my list, and next week, and grocery list here of things running out. But I just want to keep track of what I'm feeding baby, and also have like a plan set out, so that if I can't make food, like once I start working, whoever else is helping me with the baby, they know exactly what baby needs to eat and when. So this will be our meal planner that we'll be using. It's got magnet, so it sticks on the fridge, and then it comes with cookie pens, which you can use to write your meal ideas and so on. And then, yeah, so basically those are a few of the things that I've bought. There are other stuff and that I bought way before he was even born. So I just need to find where I pegged them. Alright, So my plan is to try make all the food that I make, hence I bought the blender. So everything I want it to be organic, I want it to not have anything in it. But I just thought to also try out some of the shop brands, just so that they recommend that you maybe try give baby some of the shop brands, so that in case you are traveling and you're stuck and you forgot food or something happens and you try give baby something and then maybe they'll refuse because they're not used to eating shop food, they're used to home cooked meal. So I just bought these. I don't know when I'll use them. The expiry date is quite far, so 2022, so I can decide to just keep them for long, but I would like them to taste at least one at some point in time. Ella's Kitchen, most people recommend this one, and that is because it mostly has fruits, and it even says no other stuff. It has no nasties, it has no lot of like all those artificial stuff, no added sugar, no lumpies, nothing artificial. It's just squished organic fruit for kids, and it contains natural sugars. So I bought these. They come in different colors, like you've got a yellow one, a red one, an orange one, a pink one, but I got the green one just to try out. And then I also got the organics baby rice, so it's also very smooth. It's written 6+, and the ingredients are just rice flour and vitamin B1. No nasties, also just 100% pure stuff, organic stuff. And then I also got like an Optimal organic rice, which is for 4 to 6 months, which is suitable for first weaning with a smooth texture. Also, the fact that it's organic means that it's 99.9% organic rice flour, only 1% vitamin B1. So that's basically all that is. So these I would mix with my, hopefully I want to try mix it with breast milk and give them to him like that. Now, just some short thoughts on my plan. My plan is to, per recommendation also, is to introduce vegetables first. The reason being, vegetables tend to be less sweet, and people say that if you start with fruits, then the child might refuse vegetables later on. So I want to start with vegetables, and I will do like one vegetable per, let's say, 3 days, just to see whether he will react to it and so on. So I'll introduce one vegetable at a time, and after that, then maybe I'll introduce the fruits, and then I'll do a combination of fruits and vegetables. So mostly lunch will be a vegetable, and lunch might be, yeah, vegetable or fruit. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do a fruit for lunch and then a vegetable for dinner. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do it. But then I want to try do a vegetable and a fruit. And then I want to then introduce more of the wheat stuff, being the rice, the organic rice. And also I've got pap, melimel. I want to do I want to do porridge for him. The nice thing about porridge these days is that they add vitamins into it. So even though it's white, it's no longer just like blur, but it now is loaded with a lot of stuff in it. And then I will do oats, blend oats and make it more porridgey, more flourish, and use it to make cereals for him. And also blend rice. I've got red rice, brown rice, different types of rice to make a flour paste to use for porridge. So those are the things that I plan to introduce in his diet. And once I start introducing solids, I also want to start giving him water. I haven't been giving him water because milk has enough water and enough nutrients to keep baby hydrated. But when we start introducing solids, then I'll also start introducing water and giving him water. So I still just need to confirm whether I can buy water and give him the bought water, or I need to sterilize it and boil it first or not. But I think he should be fine with just normal water. I prefer the bought one versus the tap one. Just because of my own personal insecurities with tap water. So I will I've bought some still water, which I will use with him. So yeah, that is our short intro to Unati's winning journey. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm excited to start it. I'm sure he's also excited, even though he doesn't really know what's coming. I'm excited about the whole journey. And I forgot to mention that a lot of people keep a list of the first 100 foods that the baby eats. I want to do that. So I want to write down every single thing that he eats, and his 100th food item, the challenge says the 100th thing should be donuts. But also there's a lot of research coming out to say that you shouldn't feed a lot of sugar and salt to children under the age of 2. So donuts can be a bit too much for a child, because most people reach that 100th mark when the child is 7 months or 9 months or something, less than 1 year. So I'm still thinking of what will be the 100th food that he'll eat, but I want it to be more of a healthy alternative to donuts. Maybe it can be donuts, but maybe made from oats and dates or something more natural and less like sugar. So yeah, that's one thing we'll be doing. I'm looking forward to it, except for one thing. Most mummies say that once you introduce solid foods, the poo-poo changes and you will feel it. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to poo-poo that looks like a human being. But otherwise, I think I'm ready. I think Unati is ready. And we will be sharing more on this journey as we go along. For now, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.